What if you could build an inner fortress that no external event, no insult, no crisis could ever possibly breach? What if you were practically immune to emotional distress? No matter what chaos life decided to throw at you, this isn't a superpower, it's a skill. And the blueprint was created over 2,000 years ago by the Stoic philosopher Epictetus, a man who was literally born a slave. He discovered the secret to emotional invincibility, and today we're unpacking his timeless wisdom to show you how to build that fortress for yourself. Let's be honest, we live in a world of constant noise, pressure, and uncertainty. Our peace is under assault 24/7 from the news cycle, social media pings, work deadlines, and our own anxieties. It's so easy to feel like we're just at the mercy of external forces, tossed around by the waves of circumstance. We get offended by a careless comment, anxious about what might happen tomorrow, and furious when things don't go our way. This feeling of being emotionally fragile. It's exhausting. But what if the source of all this turmoil isn't the world around us, but the way we think about it? What if freedom from suffering isn't about changing your circumstances, but about changing your mind? This is the radical promise of one of history's toughest thinkers. Epictetus was born into slavery around 50 AD in what is now Turkey. He endured a life of unbelievable hardship, even suffering a severe leg injury that left him lame for life, likely at the hands of his master. And yet through all that suffering, he forged a philosophy of unbreakable inner peace and became one of the most revered teachers in the Roman Empire. His life is proof of his core teaching that even in chains, a person can be free. He proved that our minds can be turned into an unconquerable fortress if we just have the blueprint. So today we're learning from the master himself. Here are the secrets from Epictetus for unlocking your own emotional invincibility. All right, first things first, the absolute foundation of all Stoic thought and the master key to invincibility is a simple but life-altering idea: the dichotomy of control. Epictetus taught that we have to constantly sort everything in life into two buckets: stuff we can control and stuff we can't. What's in our power? Our opinions, our intentions, our desires, our judgments, and our actions. Basically, our inner world and how we choose to respond. Everything else, our bodies, our property, our reputation, what other people think of us, the weather, the economy, the past, the future, that's all ultimately outside of our direct control. The modern world pretty much encourages us to do the exact opposite. We burn incredible amounts of energy trying to control the uncontrollable. We stress about traffic, obsess over a weird look from a coworker, and rage against things that have already happened. Epictetus would say this is the definition of insanity, like a sailor trying to command the wind. The result isn't control, it's just a constant state of frustration, anxiety, and feeling powerless. Emotional invincibility begins the moment you decide to pull your energy back from the things you can't change and focus it entirely on what you can, your own mind. As Epictetus put it, the chief task in life is simply this: to identify and separate matters so that I can say clearly to myself which are externals not under my control and which have to do with the choices I actually control. This isn't about being passive. It's about being strategic. It's about putting your strength where it actually matters. Think of it this way: you can't control if it rains, but you can control whether you bring an umbrella and your attitude about getting wet. You can't control a critical comment from your boss, but you have absolute power over how you interpret it and how you choose to respond. That's where your real power is hiding. Building right on top of that first secret, Epictetus drops a truth bomb that can dismantle almost all of our anxiety. Men are disturbed not by things, but by the views which they take of them. Let that sink in. It's not the event itself, but your judgment about the event that makes you suffer. This is a game changer. A job loss is not inherently devastating. Giving a presentation is not inherently terrifying. A negative comment is not inherently insulting. These are all neutral external events. The pain, the fear, and the anger we feel are products of the story we attach to them. We tell ourselves losing this job means I'm a failure, or if I stumble during this speech, everyone will think I'm an idiot. The Stoics knew our emotions are the children of our judgments. To become invincible, you have to become a bouncer for your own mind, checking every judgment at the door before you let it in. When you feel that surge of negativity, just pause. Ask yourself, what's the external event here, stripped of all drama, and what's the story, the judgment, that I'm adding on top of it? Someone cuts you off in traffic. The external event is just a car changing lanes. The internal judgment might be, well, that jerk deliberately disrespected me. He thinks he's more important than everyone else. That's what creates the rage, but you could choose a different judgment. Maybe they're rushing to the hospital, or even more simply, a car moved. By separating the event from your interpretation, you snatch its power away. You realize your peace was never in the hands of another driver, it was always in yours. Where most of us see roadblocks, the Stoic sees an opportunity. Epictetus famously said, "Difficulties are things that show a person what they are." He didn't see adversity as a punishment, he saw it as a sparring partner for the soul, a chance to practice virtue and build real strength. For Epictetus, life is a gym and our challenges are our workout. This mindset completely reframes hardship. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" the invincible mind asks, "How can I use this to get better?" Every problem is a chance to practice courage, patience, or resilience. That difficult colleague? An opportunity to practice patience. A financial setback? An opportunity to practice resourcefulness. A major loss? An opportunity to practice fortitude. Epictetus believed we're all born with the strength to handle whatever life throws at us, but that strength is like a muscle. It has to be developed through practice. He tells us not to just endure hardship, but to embrace it as the very thing that makes us who we are. A sailor doesn't get good on a calm sea, they earn their stripes navigating storms. In the same way, our character isn't forged in comfort, but in the fire of a challenge. When you adopt this perspective, you stop being a victim of your circumstances and start being an active participant in your own growth. Problems don't break you anymore, they build you. To be truly invincible, you have to be free. And according to Epictetus, freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. This means cultivating a healthy detachment from external outcomes, possessions, and even your own reputation. It's not that you shouldn't try to succeed or enjoy your relationships, it's that you shouldn't chain your happiness and inner peace to them. The Stoics called this practicing contempt for externals. Now, this doesn't mean being cold or cynical. It means recognizing that the things the world values most, wealth, status, likes on a photo, are fundamentally fragile and outside your command. Chasing them makes you a slave to them. If your happiness depends on praise, you'll be crushed by criticism. If your identity is tied to your job title, you'll be lost when it's gone. Invincibility is found when you shift your source of value inward. Instead of looking for validation from others, validate yourself with your own virtuous actions. Instead of measuring your worth by your bank account, measure it by your character. As Epictetus advises, if you want something good, get it from yourself. A practical way to do this is to regularly remind yourself that everything is temporary. Appreciate what you have, but hold it lightly. Enjoy your successes, but don't cling to them. This creates an inner stability that can't be shaken by the winds of fortune or the opinions of the crowd. Your sense of self becomes grounded in the one thing no one can ever take from you, your integrity. Okay, this one sounds a little dark at first, but stick with me. A core Stoic practice is known as premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils. It's a powerful tool for building resilience that involves deliberately imagining things going wrong. You might spend a few minutes thinking about losing your job, facing a health scare, or losing a loved one. I know, it sounds morbid, but its purpose is profoundly healing. By rehearsing misfortune in your mind, you do two things. First, you vaccinate yourself against the shock and panic of unexpected bad news. When you've already thought about a negative outcome, if it ever arrives, it's met with calm preparedness instead of deer-in-the-headlights terror. You've already run the simulation. Second, it floods you with gratitude for what you have right now. When you vividly imagine your life without the people and things you value, you return to the present with a deep and genuine appreciation for them. You stop taking your good fortune for granted. Epictetus would urge us to remember life's fragility, not to be sad, but to be present and prepared. When you hug someone you love, you can silently remind yourself how precious and non-guaranteed that connection is. This practice strips future hardships of their terror and fills the present moment with incredible value. It's a dress rehearsal for adversity, ensuring that when the real performance comes, you're ready. So the great secret of Epictetus is that emotional invincibility isn't an external shield we wear. It's an internal choice we make every single day. It's the disciplined practice of separating what we can control from what we can't, and pouring our energy only into the first bucket. It's the understanding that our suffering comes not from events, but from the stories we tell ourselves about them. And it's the courage to see every challenge not as a setback, but as a chance to forge our character. Building this inner fortress takes time. It takes consistent effort. It requires you to observe your thoughts, challenge your assumptions, and align your actions with your values. But every time you pause before reacting, every time you choose acceptance over anxiety, every time you find the lesson in a loss, you're laying another stone in its foundation. Your mind is the one thing that is truly unshakably yours. No one can force you to think a certain way or to surrender your will. This is the source of your ultimate freedom and your ultimate strength. As Epictetus himself promised, you may be unconquerable if you enter into no combat in which it is not in your own control to conquer. The battle is within you, and it's a battle you can always win. If this wisdom from Epictetus hit home for you, subscribe for more ancient philosophy for modern life. And I've got a challenge for you. In the comments below, share one area of your life where you're going to apply the dichotomy of control this week. Let's learn from each other. Thanks for watching.